Well, it's that time of the year again. I think the holidays are difficult because when they are difficult, there's a lot of expectations around them. Expectations of love, expectations we're going to get what we want, a lot of expectations, and a lot of disappointment. Um, for me, I remember when I was 5 years old, my parents had separated, and we were in Santa Monica, and my dad came out from New York. And of course, I was delighted to see him because I was five. I didn't know better. And what I really wanted was a bicycle. I'd been borrowing a neighbor's two-wheeler, and I wanted to show how I could ride a bicycle, which I did to both my mother and father. And I got a raincoat for Christmas. And lowering expectations, Carol. I it was actually it turned out that for an adult it was a wonderful thing because it indicated we were going back east to New York. My parents were going to reconcile for one of the many times before they finally divorced. Um, but I'm an adult a long time now, a very, very long time now, and I've had some lovely Christmases when I was in my 20s and I was in a relationship with a guy and I was very, very much in love, and we would go to his family and they were like a real family. They were like Irish, German, Italians, and they really, they had kids, and it was very alive and very loving. And then I've had Christmases where with people who were extremely wealthy, and it was quite horrifying to see how delighted they were by the abundance of gifts they had. And all I could think about is, we could have spent this money sending goats to Africa, which is what I did the following year. Give them gift certificates that I had bought them a goat in Africa. They didn't invite me back, but hey. But and I had desperate ones where I would go to take a vacation somewhere and look for friends or be invited somewhere. And there's some great things about being over 65, actually over 70, or over 75. I'm not going to see that again. And the thing is, you basically grow up or you don't. I'm either going to go, oh my God, it's so sad, or I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I have beautiful yellow mums on my table. I am in good health, and I live in a great place. And here's a really good trick. Now, I do think about going to foreign countries over the holidays is a very good idea, especially if you're alone, because you don't get it. You don't get what they're doing. It's like in another language. You go, how nice, how interesting. It becomes as interesting as like going to the museum to watch how other people enjoy their holiday. And as you know by now, I live in Baja California, and I do have neighbors, and we get along very well, which is really wonderful. But they have children, and those children have come and gotten them and taken them away somewhere. So I have actually the whole place in the garden to myself. And I think maybe New Year's Day, I'll do a sort of sit down brunch in the garden for a few people, maybe 6 people. Maybe not. We'll see. They may have other plans. That's the other thing. You never know. And your married friends are always like, oh, poor Carol. And I'm thinking, thank God I don't have to go anywhere. I did watch that movie, A Marriage Story. And I'll tell you, if you are alone this holiday, watch that movie and you'll be so happy that you're not married, whether you're a man or a woman. Wherever you are, do try not to get caught up in it. That's an important thing. If you're religious, that's great because Hanukkah and Christmas happen at the same time, so you've got that. If you're not religious, and I'm sort of, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am. I'm like everything. Um, I have a lot of options. Also, I'm in Mexico, and Mexico celebrates Christmas on Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day is a day off. And it's not a day off for like everybody has big dinners like they do in the United States and even in England that I'm aware of. So, although things are closed, it's not a day where there's a lot of tension in the day. And no, they do not watch football games. So, you know what I say? Que sera, sera. I'll see you next year. Love you.